But this is a speech that the Lubavitcher Rebbe gave on the end of basically today, this date. The Torah portion wasn't the same Torah portion, but it's this same date, which is the 28th day of Nisan. 28th day of Nisan. Tav Shin Chaf Tav Shin Nun Aleph, 1991. 1991. Okay, now this was a very shocking. Here we go. Very good speech that the Rebbe gave. So let's do it. Here we go. After the prayer of Arvit, Ba'am Madnu, that we are now standing, and Yom Zakai, Benogea, regarding Le'inyan Hachi Ikari, the main topic of life, the main topic of Judaism, the most important topic that there is in the world, not taught, learned in universities, not learned, spoken about in the news, which shows you how inefficient and unnecessary most of the teachings in the universities, and especially 100% in the news, is, because they don't deal with what's really the most important aspect of life, and that is Mashiach. The Geula Amitit V'Shlema, that's the most important topic that should be in everybody's mind. Umitzad Kama V'Kama Inyani, because of many other issues, Klolos Hashanah, the year, including the year, the month, the week, and also the details of each day of the week, and also every moment of every day, and the details which are in every day, and the fact that we're now what's called Sfirat Omer, we're counting the Omer. So everything that there is in the world is important, and we can learn from every detail something about God and the Torah and the Jewish people and the world. So let's just take a couple of these examples. Mitzvah Lememi Yameya Umitzvah Shavua. We're now in what's called Sfirat Omer. Excuse me. We're counting the Omer. What's counting the Omer? We talked about this before. It's a commandment that when the Jews came into the land of Israel the first time, back then, 3,300 whatever years ago, as they started counting the Omer. The Omer was that they would bring a bundle of barley into the temple. There was a whole big process, and then they would count 49 days until the holiday of Shavuot. So it says this commandment, we learned about it last week, is really very Kabbalistically oriented. It's 7 weeks. Each week has 7 days. And so we count the 7 weeks and the days. And this corresponds to what's called the 7 emotional attributes of God. And this corresponds to the 7 emotional attributes in our soul. So let us now mention another time. And of course, this is all under the umbrella topic of Mashiach. Let us talk about that. Odapam, another time I want to repeat it again. The Gomer V'Shlemus Ma'aseinu V'Avodotenu L'Havi Geula Amiti, to bring the true redemption, like we're going to talk about. Okay, again, just why is this thing about Mashiach so important? Why is it important? I mean, basically, it comes down to, why are the Jews important? And that comes down to another question: why is the world important? What do we? And why is God important? Why is God important? Just how to say, Kesara, whatever there is, there is God. He takes care of the world, and we're just here. Row your boat gently down the stream. What's the big deal about important? What's important? You just live your life. That's all. You live your life. Try not to do any bad things. Maybe you go, you do bad things, go to hell, heaven. but it's just a big sort of a business, where you want to invest your time and your energy, and that's it, that's life. So the Rebbe is trying to say, no, 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 don't. It's not so. It's not so. It's not so. The world is wonderful. The world, we have no idea what God is, how good God is, how close God is, how alive God is. Everything that you can want from this world, that you could possibly want from this world, with the revelation of God, you have, but 1,000 times more. And the most precious thing that you get is responsibility. We've talked about this maybe 1,000 times. As you feel responsible, you feel you're important. You have a reason to be in the world. You reveal goodness in the world. You heal the world, like they say. So it says, now, what are you doing in order to bring Mashiach? The world is screaming to us from all sides and telling us how important the world is, how important the Jews are, how important God is. What are we doing to reveal this? So it says, Dobu, we've spoken many times about the first letters, the initials of our year are, back then it was Tav Shin Nun Aleph. Tav Shin Nun Aleph means back then it was 5,751 years from the beginning of the creation of the world. Tav Shin Nun Aleph is 51, right? 51. So Tav Shin, that's a 700. It's 5,700, and Nun Aleph is 51 years from the creation of the world. Nun is the letters of Niflaot, miracles. Lifnei Aleph, and is before the letter Aleph, which is Ereno. I will show you miracles. Is no miracles. I will show you. Tav Shin will be tough. Shin Teheye will be Shanat Ni, the year. Niflot, miracles. Ereno, I will show you. O ke v'chtivas zmani shtaros, like if you write a check, that you have to write when you write a check, you write the tens before you write the ones, right? Tav Shin Nun Aleph. It should be a year. Instead of writing, it should be a year of I will show you miracles. Rather, you write, no, I will be a year of miracles, I will show you. And this is even better, like what it says there's a sentence in Micha, we talked about it all the time, like the days of going out of Egypt, I will show you miracles. Here it says, no, miracles I will show you. What's the difference? Miracles on their own, they can be also in a way that you don't see them. Like the rabbis say that there are miracles that even a person that the miracle occurs to doesn't see the miracle. Ein balanes makir benisu. Al derech mashal, similarly also in regarding to the miracles which are above niflot, which are above miracles. Oh, so now the Rebbe wants to say that there's, let's change the English word a little bit. Nisim means miracles. Niflot means wonders. Let's say wonders. Says the Rebbe, wonders are above miracles. Adarabah, yitachan, it could be, shelo yireh niflaot. It says that a person that a miracle occurs to often does not see the miracle. Doesn't see the miracle. The Rebbe says, how much more so niflaot, wonders, mitzad gadol malatam, because of their great highness, which their even wonders are above miracles. So it could be, like it says, Ose niflot gedola, God does wonders alone. Shaliyota, because they are niflot gedola, they're big wonders. As hu levado, God alone, he is the one that sees this wonder or the miracle. But the person that the miracle occurs to doesn't see it. It's too big. It's too big. I mean, the example, of course, is the 6-Day War. The 6-Day War, and even in some days, some degree ways, even more, the Yom Kippur War, and in some ways, infinitely more, what's going on right now. What's going on right now? In the 6-Day War, we won 6 days. Nobody could believe it. Right? I think I told you that I had friends that learned in West Point or whatever. They said that all the military schools, they examined different wars and different battles, Napoleon, this, and they said there's nothing to be learned from the 6-Day War. You can't use any of the any of the tactics or whatever. It depended on people like not sleeping for 3 days in a row and being exactly accurate with their with their bombing and things like that, right? And so as miracles, everybody's and the Israelis said, no, it wasn't miracles. No, no, we're just really good pilots, really. We were really motivated, and we're backs to the wall, and you know. And the Yom Kippur War was even more. The Yom Kippur War, they couldn't even explain it. There were the north and the south were completely open, right? The Israeli government, they didn't do anything to protect us. And the Egyptians from the south and the Syrians from the north, nothing was stopping them from taking over Tel Aviv. And they just miraculously, for absolutely no logical reason whatsoever, they stopped. They stopped. And it was too big even to say that it was a miracle. No one could explain it. And what's going on now is even more. I mean, they're shooting tens of thousands of missiles at us, and the whole world is against us. And here we are. Look, I'm giving a class, and there's electric lights, and we go in the streets, and people are walking around. It's just the most amazing miracles are going on. And the government in Israel is like the worst possible. They're doing everything they can so that we won't win the war. Everything they can. They're not letting the soldiers fight. They're not letting us bomb. They're worried about what the world says, and they're arguing, and they have the terrible arguments. And nobody listens to them anyway. Right, the arguments, and God is protecting us. It's just the most amazing thing. Of course, we don't need miracles like that, that just to protect us from evil. And we want miracles that are much greater. But never, the fact is, the miracles are occurring, and we don't even notice them. Right? We don't notice them. The Kivan Shekorish Baruch, because God says, and that what it says though, that there are miracles that we don't notice. That's very wonderful. But the fact is, this year, says the Rebbe, back then, Tafshin Nun Aleph, was I will show the miracles. I will show you niflot, and not just miracles, wonders. You'll see clearly wonders, since that God showed these wonders. Kolomar, in other words, Rias and Niflot, seeing these wonders, not because they're not big. That's you can see them because they're not that big. Ela bigalal, because hishtadlut taskut kodesh baruch hu v'kavoda ba'atzmo, because God Himself is making a big effort, that His ability that He can show even to low people like us that we don't appreciate anything. He can make them. Not only will we appreciate miracles, we'll even appreciate wonders, and that God alone is doing the miracle. That was says, I will show you miracles. That was eranu niflot, b'lashon nistar v'lashon nochach. It doesn't say I will show you miracles. It says I will show eranu, I will show him or them miracles. Like the days of going out of Egypt, I will show him miracles. Shemora, this is talking about the level, a highest level of godliness, Shehu, both in Nistar, it says that God is concealed. The highest level of concealment of God, even Sharia Niflos, seems that seeing these wonders is because of such a tremendously high level of godliness. Sha'aran no, Daika, I will see him, or I will show him. God says him, like in English also. When I say I, it's first person. When I say you, it's talking directly to people. When I say him, it's somebody that's not here. So when it says I will show him, that's implying the aspect of God which is concealed. It says that will be shown. Bo'im niflot gedolah, big miracles. God alone shows the miracles in a way that's going to be clear. Ubezeh gufa, there's two ways. One is the way of the world. Kativat shtarot, like it says, niflot ereno, I will show you miracles. I will show you. Tavshin, that's if you write a check, you have to write the nun, the bigger number before the smaller number. Nun is 50 and 1 is 1. Kimetzad metziut olam, because of the world. So these are wonders which are above being revealed. That's how the world looks at it. Niflot ereno, because these are miracles which are wonders which are relevant to the world. But how does God reveal them? Ereno, God makes a special effort and He reveals them. The Seder, it goes like this. Ereno niflot. I will show you wonders. First of all, there is the Ereno being shown. And then we realize that what we're being shown, what we're seeing with our eyes, are miracles that are above the world. There is in this world, and so therefore there's two ways of doing it. Two ways. I will show you miracles, and miracles I will show you, or wonders. I will show you wonders, and wonders I will show you. If it's wonders, if it says Ereno niflaot, like the Rebbe said that that's what we're in now, from above to below, I will show you the miracles, then there's revealed a tremendously high level of godliness. I will show you miracles. Ereno niflaot, I will show you. You see the I, the godliness that God is making the miracle, and God is enabling us to see the miracle. But if the way that this miracles occur is the other way around, if the revelation is mainly, it's only mainly from above, the miracles stay up in heaven, but the miracles don't come into the world. So then you have big tzaddikim, holy people, they can see these miracles because they're holy people. They're up in the heavens as well. But if we say niflot ereno, nun aleph, niflot ereno, then this means this is coming into the world. Coming into the world of alone mitkali dargos elokus, but it's not showing godliness which is above the world. Maybe I'll give you an example. What I think what the Rebbe is getting at over here. We've used this example before. You take a person, let's say, from a poor person from the street, a poor guy, and he was poor. His family was poor. They were poor all the time. They were miners, whatever it is, in Texas or something, and they were always just getting along, getting along. And you take this person and you say to him, take him aside and say, listen, you just won the lottery. Well, I didn't pay. Somebody bought a ticket for you. You got a guy, you did him a favor once, and he bought a ticket for you. He had mercy on you. You won. How much did I win? You won $1 billion. So there's two ways of looking at it. The guys that say $1 billion wants $1 billion. He can't fathom what's going on. He can't fathom what's happening. How much $1 billion is $1 billion? That's how many $10 bills is that? It's a lot. $10. It's like 10 $10 bills. That's a lot of money. Says, oh yeah, no, it's a lot more than that. It's a lot more than that. Let's look at $100 bills. Or how many $100 bills? A lot. That's 10 $100 bills. $100 bills. Says, no, it's much more than that. He doesn't know what to do with the money. He can't get into it. But then there's another person. You want $1 billion. $1 billion. You mean I'm a millionaire? I'm a billionaire. Says, yeah, you're a billionaire. Says, listen, hold on to this money just for a minute. Hold on to them. I want to get some advice. And he goes and goes to accountants, and he goes to lawyers, and the guy has a bit of intelligence, and he starts to realize, $1 billion, and he knows what to do with the money. He figures out what to do with the money. He becomes a different person. Suddenly, so there's one way is that the person, he stays the same person. They trickle money down to him a little bit. So he sees the big miracle, $1 billion. He reads it about it. He knows it's in the bank, right? And they make a special thing. He can't take out more than $100 a week, because if he does, they'll spend it all on drugs or whatever. But here's a person, he gets the whole business, the whole money, and he knows what to do with it. He says that's a big wonder, right? Most people, when they got, he says the person admits it's a big miracle. Most people, they won $1 billion, they go crazy. I won the $1 billion somehow or other. I became calm. I know what to do with the money. It's the same thing. God gives us big miracles. Usually the miracles, they stay in the bank. We can't take care of it. That's what niflot areno. That's in the order of the year. Tavshin nun aleph. But then there's sometimes areno niflaot, like it says when out of Egypt, I will show you that God Himself, He's the one that does a miracle that you're able to see. God Himself says, I'm not just only doing the miracles, I'm also showing you the miracles. Areno, God, first of all, does the whole business, the miracles and your ability to see them. So if so, therefore, Hashlemus, the true revelation, is when they're both joined together. Niflot areno and areno niflot. that first of all, that there's revealed a level of godliness which is above the world, niflaot, wonders. And together with this, it's also drawing down, that it's drawn into the world, ereno. So ereno niflaot means that God does the whole thing, but it's also niflaot ereno. You can see that the wonders will be shown in the world. Okay, what's the Rebbe talking about all this for? The Rebbe is trying to tell us that that's the way the world is supposed to be. That's the way the world is supposed to be. That we see God in everything. We see the miraculousness of life and everything that happens constantly, but even more, life itself will be different. Well, the Rosh, first of all, mainly, he's galos and niflos, the miracles, like it says, going out of Egypt, I will show you miracles. The miracles of the Gula Mitit V'Shlema, of the total redemption, which will be my means of the Mashiach. Says the Rebbe, especially in this year, even add on more this month and this week and the day of the week. We're in the month of Nisan, the end of the month of Nisan, but the month of Nisan. This is the month of redemption. The Jewish people back then, 3,300 whatever years ago, we were actually slaves one day, and the next day we weren't slaves anymore. We were free. Shebo hayata yetzia geula, that in it there was going out of Egypt. The Yemei Tzeit Chamer Yisrael, this is the days of going out of Egypt. Ubo tiye geula atita, and in this month will also be the future redemption. And Ranuni flowed, that's the miracles that God will show us. Benisim nigalu, benisim atirim ligal. Now, back then, we were in Egypt. It was obvious that we were slaves. Now we're not in Egypt, and we see him not to be slaves. Says the fact is that we are slaves. And the fact is we don't see it. And it's going to be even a bigger miracle, because the Jews, when they were in Egypt, they also didn't really feel that they were slaves. They just took it for granted. Right? They would have just liked it if Paro would have said, okay, listen, I've been a little bit too harsh with you. You don't have to make so many bricks every day. Oh, this is redemption. Thank you very much. This is wonderful, right? Instead of making 50 bricks a day, 20 bricks a day. Oh, this is, thank you. And instead of everybody receiving one piece of corn, everybody's going to receive 5 pieces of corn. Oh, thank you, Paro. This is great. Moses says, let's get out of Egypt. Moses, listen, we don't need you. We have Paro. That was the mindset of the Jewish people. 4/5 of the Jewish people didn't leave Egypt. They stayed in Egypt. They didn't want to go out because they didn't consider that they couldn't think of anything better than to be in Egypt. And this was after the plagues, right? The Egypt was decimated. So the same thing is, we're in the same situation now. We can't imagine anything better than what we are right now. What could there possibly be better, right? I just saw a video of this fellow that went on the college campuses, a Jewish guy, and he went to college campuses and he talked to them. He wanted to talk to the people about how we Israelis also have our point, and etc. And a brave guy, and he had some very good points, but he didn't talk anything about God or that we're God's people, that we're a community and we're what do they call it, a civilization or something like that. And we have as much right to the land as anybody else. Okay, but I was very, very impressed by the fact that he couldn't get out of the idea that we're normal. Treat us normal. We just want to be normal, right? The Palestinians are normal, and we want to be normal. We want to have everything normal, to be normal. Normalization. That was really the sort of the goal of Zionism. And you can't blame them, because there was so much trouble and so much problems. But the fact is that we can't be satisfied with being normal, because we're not normal. Says the Rebbe, the whole world is not normal. We cannot be satisfied if the world acts in a normal way, because the world is not normal. The world is God's place, and we have to see the big miracles. We have to see this fact. That's what it means, redemption, going out of being normal. Back then, when they were in Egypt, they thought being normal was just not being such to remove a little bit of the difficulties. of our servitude. Instead of 50 bricks, 30 bricks. Oh, this is amazing. And it's exactly the same situation as it back then. It's just that back then, our master was Paro. He was the evil master. And now our evil master, our slave keeper, whatever, that's me and you, each one of us. We keep ourselves in our own prisons. And that's what Mashiach is going to take us out. That's going to be the miracle. We can't imagine that God exists and that God cares. The land of Israel belongs to us because it's God. We don't know what God is. The Jewish people, the holy nation. What's holy? What does it mean, holy? Well, because we're in exile. We don't know what it means. But the fact is, that's real reality. And the things that are going on now with the United Nations, and let's be normal and let's have normalization, and there's place for two countries. And it was interesting. In this argument that I saw, all the Arabs that he talked to says, no, there's no room for two places. There's no room for two people. There's no room. The land of Palestine belongs to us totally. You kicked us out, right? And he said, oh, come on, let's be nice guys. And even the ones that were sort of, civil and they were willing to talk to him, they all said, oh, no, what are you talking about? It belongs to us. And if the Jewish people refuse to be holy and say we're normal, then the non-Jews can say, listen, we were here before you. We were normal before you were normal. You want to be normal, so it belongs to us. Even though those arguments are also, they certainly are they can be, negated. But the fact of the matter is we're ignoring the real fact. And the real fact is that God is the creator of the world, and he's creating the world right now. And the whole world is really, and that's not seeing that. That's what's called being in exile. And this year, especially the year that this is the month of redemption, right? That's what we said. Oh, Kaf. So now we are in Kaf Chet Nisan, the 28th day of Nisan, 27th day of Nisan. This is Zach. 27. Now the Rebbe is going to go through all the dates. 27th, that's Chaf Zayin, that's Zach, that's pure. Shemen Zayat Zach. Things being clear. Ereno, that's the idea of clear, to be seeing, to see. To see, Chaf Ches means it's to see. Nisan means the miracles, redemption. This we can also add on. Chaf Zayin is 9 times 3. That was yesterday. Yesterday is 27th, namely, and that the whole idea of Nisan is the month of miracles and the month of Geula, of redemption. This is in a way that 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27. That's what's called a chazakah. Chazakah means a thing that certainly is going to repeat itself. 3 times 3 times 3. So it's three times is called a chazakah. If you do something 3 times, it's considered to be, that's your nature, it's going to be continued. We've talked about this many, many times in the year, that the beginning of the three days which were holy, that it repeated over and over again. Rosh Hashanah, Sukkot, and Shmini Atzeret, and Simchat Torah. Okay, we talked about this before. Okay, that's 27th day, and that was the year that the Rebbe was speaking, that there were these 3 days came in a row. Kaf Ches Nisan, the 28th day of Nisan, that's the day we're in now. Koach, power. This is the power and the, how do you say that? The assertiveness to bring the future redemption, especially in God gives us the power that we can actually bring this redemption. It's in our hands. And even in addition, because of the whole general topic of this week. What's this week? Now we have to remember, when the Rebbe was speaking, it's not like it is now. Now we're in the week of Kedoshim, which is the Torah portion, which is like 3 portions after what it was back then. Back then it was Shmini. The number back then was Shmini. Shmini is attached to the redemption. And the year that Shmini, Ashavua Shlishi, Parsha Shmini, Chazaka B'inyan Shmini. This is the 3rd time they read Shmini in the Torah. Okay, because it occurred in Shmini, occurred in Passover. So because it occurred in Passover, so they read it before and they read it in Mincha and etc. They read 3 times anyway the Parshat Shmini. What about the day of the week? The day of the week was Friday. Then we read Parshat Shmini, on Shabbat. We read the whole entire Parshat Shmini. And Shmini, Sheba Shmini, that's the future redemption that's connected to the number 8, because that's the brit between God and the Jewish people. Okay. Now, just one thing to add on, and we're going to have to finish this tomorrow. A person can say, okay, the Rebbe said this in 1991, and that was, 33 years ago. It's a long time. And the Rebbe said the redemption is here, and the revelations are here, and the big miracles are here. And really, back then, there were big miracles. That was the year when the Iron Curtain fell, and Saddam Hussein, he shot all these huge missiles at Israel, and they all landed exactly where he wanted to, and it didn't cause any deaths or damages. Big miracles. There was miracles going all over the world. Amazing miracles. But that's it. Nothing really happened. So, of course, that's a bit depressing. And in fact, the whole idea that we're in exile for 2,000 years since the temple is destroyed is even more depressing. And we come from the Holocaust, which is depressing. And there's all these depressing things that are happening in the world. But the Rebbe said that in order for the redemption to come, so all of the bad has to be revealed, so that people have a clear choice. It won't be confused anymore. All the confusion will be revealed. The confusion will be revealed. And that's basically what's happening now, right? All the Jews are put in a spot. Suddenly everybody hates Jews and nobody knows why. And Jews hate Jews and they don't know why. And the whole thing is all the bad is floating up to the surface. It's all floating up to the surface. So, I'm not trying to explain all the troubles, but what I'm trying to explain is that don't let the troubles and the difficulties get in the way of the fact. The fact is the Jewish people are really God's people, and God promised that there's going to be a future redemption, and that there's going to be a third temple, and all the Jews are going to return back to their true Jewish identities. It's going to happen. It has to happen. Why hasn't it happened up to now? It breaks my heart too. I have absolutely no idea, but that should in no way discourage us from being excited about the future redemption. Okay. Yesh lo sif, we can also add that this is the connection to this day. Kafchet Nisan, the day after that comes the 29th of Nisan. That'll be tomorrow. And that'll be Erev Rosh Chodesh. That'll be the day before the first day of Iyar. And this first day of Iyar is called Yom Kippur. The last day of the month is sometimes called Yom Kippur Katan. This is something like Yom Kippur, the day when God got married to the Jewish people. The high priest went into the Holy of Holies. That was the meeting of the Jewish people and God together. That was also when God gave the second tablets, Yom Kippur. So tomorrow is, so to speak, a small Yom Kippur. There's some people that fast. In Chabad, we don't. This real marriage of God and the Jewish people that was in the Holy of Holies when the high priest went in, this is going to be in the future redemption, when then there will be the marriage of the Jewish people with God. From this we can come to the first day of the month, Molid al-Levana, when the month will be born. That's going to be this Tuesday, Wednesday. This is like the Jewish people when the moon starts to be born again. That's like the Jewish people, that they're similar to the moon and they count according to the moon. I just want to see something over here. Here we go. Yeah, no, I'm sorry, I was wrong. The Wednesday and Thursday. Wednesday and Thursday, the first day of Iyar is Thursday. And the last day of Nisan, the 30th of Nisan, is going to be Wednesday. So it's 2 days. Then we come to the first day of Rosh Chodesh, and the second day of Rosh. From the first day of Rosh Chodesh, we come to the second day of Rosh Chodesh, that in this it's stressed the redemption of Rosh Chodesh in a double way. So Rosh Chodesh means the moon is being born. That hints also at the future redemption when the Jewish people who are compared to the moon will be reborn. The light will start to shine. And this month we have a double 2 days. So it's a double rebirth. This is especially this year, when Rosh Chodesh fell on Shabbat. That's what it was back then. And when Erev Rosh Chodesh falls on Shabbat, therefore we make Yom Kippur Katan. Okay, that's okay. Even more. When Rosh Chodesh falls on Shabbat, we feel the redemption also in Shabbat itself. Okay, this year it doesn't work exactly that way. Erev Rosh Chodesh falls on like we said, on Thursday. Yeah, that's right, Thursday. So okay, but we are coming to in counting the Omer, we're coming to Tiferet Sheb'Tiferet, the 18th day. Tiferet Sheb'Tiferet of counting the Omer. Every week in counting the Omer is another emotion of God, and we divide those emotions into 7. When it comes to Tiferet Sheb'Tiferet, Tiferet is the 3rd week, and the 3rd day of that week, Tiferet of Tiferet, that's the day that the 4th Rebbe of Chabad was born. And the 4th Rebbe of Chabad, he began a whole new movement, a whole new, the idea in Chabad, which was called Lechatchila Rebbe, jumping over all apparent obstacles, not paying attention to nature, and jumping over, also not your own nature, not to pay attention, and jumping over and the normal way of doing things, so that even the simplest and most untalented Jew can accomplish the greatest of greatest things by just not paying attention to obstacles. And that we're going to talk about tomorrow. Let us, okay, so what have we learned up to now? We've learned that a Jew has to be thinking about the future redemption all the time, and see in everything that there is hints and the encouragement for this, that the future redemption is approaching, and that we have to do everything we can in order to facilitate its its arrival. And the Rebbe stressed that that's the whole idea of seeing wonders, that the world should be and will be for sure filled with wonders, and that one way that we can do this and make it happen is by jumping over all of our there's a good word for it, and I can't remember what the word is. And the all of the things that take away our enthusiasm for making the world a better place, ignoring all the negativity and jumping over all nature in order to learn more Torah, do more commandments, be a better person, be a positive person, and to think about the goodness of the Creator in every aspect of His creation, every moment of the day. And that we'll talk about more, God willing, tomorrow. Now let us learn the Yom Yom.